Today is a very important day in the year for me. It's one that I've looked forward to ever since I was a little child. Today, December 6th, is St. Nicholas Day. And St. Nicholas Day is a very big day for me because growing up as a child raised in a Dutch family, we celebrated St. Nicholas Day. And how we did that was that we would put our shoes by a fireplace or something similar to a fireplace. And we would wake up in the morning on December 6th and come to it and see it filled with candy, some fruit, usually a spice cookie, a big spice cookie. We lived in Iowa. Well, I always look forward to that. And sometimes presents, depending on how things were going that year. And growing up, this was one of those extra things that we got. Because, I felt special going to school because I got a present that morning, and I got candy that morning, and all the other kids, they didn't get any. I got it. Because it was special for us Dutch people. And the thing about this, it was so cool to be able to have that opportunity. And growing up, I never believed in Santa Claus growing up. That was just silly. But St. Nicholas, that was the real thing. St. Nicholas riding on his horse around bringing candy and food and gifts to children, and not just children, but to adults too. See, that's the difference between St. Nicholas and Santa Claus. St. Nicholas gives to everybody. And St. Nicholas would go along, and if you were good, you would get all this candy and stuff, but if you were bad, you'd get switches and coal. And if you were really bad, after getting your switches and coal one year, you'd get taken away by Black Peter the next year. You'd be taken away. So you had to be really good because you didn't want to be taken away. You wanted to be good. And that was a very cool thing for me to grow up and to have this opportunity to learn. And to be able to have know that this extra time I got to get these gifts. We also got gifts on Christmas, of course, but we got these gifts directly from St. Nicholas every year on December 6th. That faith of a child that I had, believing that's where it came from. Now, in this passage, we're talking about children here in the book of Mark. People were bringing their little children to Jesus to have him touch them, but the disciples rebuked them. People were bringing their children. Of course, the adults wanted to see Jesus too. There were thousands of people who were coming to him with ailments, and different stuff that was wrong with them, things that they wanted taken care of. And the disciples, people bringing children, were like, these are perfectly healthy children. What do they need you for? Don't mess that time with them. Come on. Children don't need to be here. They get in the way. They're loud. I don't want to deal with them. But Jesus says, he was indignant. He was like, very indignant. He did not like that. He said, let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of God belongs to such as these. Do not hinder them. Now, we have in this passage this little pronoun, them. And, I used to find it very important to find out what the antecedent, what did that them mean? See, there's two possibilities here. Let the little children come to me and do not hinder them. It could mean the children. But what was Jesus talking about to the disciples? The parents were bringing the little children to Jesus. Do not hinder them, meaning do not hinder the parents from bringing them to me. Do not make them feel bad for bringing their kids here. Do not make them feel bad for having their children here and bothering you while you're trying to listen to the sermon. Allow the children to be here because I want to be able to bless them as well. Do not hinder the parents from bringing the children. It's really a very important thing for us to remember. I've known many people who could sometimes feel uncomfortable bringing a child to church with them because they can feel those eyes peering right at them. They feel those eyes peering into them saying, "Why did you bring that child here? They're bothering me." Jesus says, "Do not hinder them. Let the little children come to me." I want them to hear this from a really early age. And if the parents aren't going to bring them, they can't walk. They can't bring themselves. The parents need to bring them. The parents need to teach them a home, but the parents also need to bring them. And here, this was bring them to Jesus. This was an opportunity of a lifetime. The children, I'm sure, were talking about that for years and years to come. I got to see Jesus. I got to see Jesus. That was so exciting. And that happened because Jesus let them come to him. Jesus let them come to him so that they could be blessed. So that they could hear. So that they could remember and bring their children. It's very important for them in their lives, for the parents, for the adults, to grow and to come to Jesus.